Hi friends, thanks for joining me for this tutorial. Today we're going to create our own cheer sticker for scrapbooking or printing. Draw a rectangle. We'll change the color to green. Hit F1. That's a shortcut to get back to your selector tool. Path, object to path. Edit by nodes. Now we have these nodes where we can change the shape of our rectangle. First, we need to find the center of our rectangle. Hit B for Bezier. Make sure you have the regular Bezier path selected. Hold Control, so we're going to draw a straight line. And hit Enter. F1. Come up here to the top right corner. Select your snapping tool, toggle it on, and drag our line to the center of our rectangle. So now we know where our center point is. Click Edit by Nodes, select your rectangle, hold Control, and drag that rectangle in. And do the same thing on this side. Drag it in until it looks about centered. Come over here to your menu, select your ellipse tool. We're going to come to the bottom and draw an ellipse that's just a little bit bigger than the bottom of our rectangle. Deselect your snapping tool and go ahead and draw your ellipse. If yours ended up like mine without color in the center, come down here and just select a color. We'll use green. We can remove the border by holding Shift and pressing X. And we're going to draw another ellipse here at the top. Path, object to path. Now we can edit this a little bit. We don't want these borders around our circle to be so round. Select your Edit by Nodes tool. Zoom in a little bit. And just kind of drag these out just to give it more of a square shape. Do the same thing on the other side. And let's do the same thing at the bottom. So here's our basic shape. Go back and grab your selector tool and you can delete your center line. Let's turn our opacity all the way up. All right, on everything. Okay, so here's our basic megaphone shape. Select everything, Control G to group it together, and Control D to duplicate. We'll move that out of the way. R for rectangle. RX, let's put it at 4, and RY, let's go to 4. This is going to give the border of our rectangle a more rounded shape. Let's make our rectangle about the same width as the base of our megaphone. There we go. F1. With your rectangle selected, select your megaphone, and under Align and Distribute, let's distribute it vertically and horizontally. Let's make sure we turn this into a path so it can be edited. And we'll select everything. Let's go ahead and duplicate our rectangle, Control D, and move that off to the side. We'll use it later. Path Union. Let's change the color of that to yellow. Path, linked offset, edit by nodes, diamond at the top, and select it and drag. Now this is actually creating a border. Let's change the color so we can see what it looks like. Drag your border as large or small as you want the outline to be around the megaphone. I'm going to go with this. I like that. F1. The centerpiece, we don't need it anymore. You can delete that. So this is basically the background of our sticker. We'll change it to yellow, and we'll come back to that in just a few minutes. Select your rectangle and select your megaphone. Center it vertically and horizontally. First, let's make a duplicate of that again and move it off to the side. We're going to use that one more time. Select your rectangle, select your megaphone, path difference. Select this other rectangle that you made a duplicate of, and let's just make it skinnier. And duplicate that too. And drag it here. And pull your other one and drag it here. Now I'm going to make this top one a little bit skinnier, not much. Put it back up here. It doesn't have to be centered perfectly because you're going to select with your rectangle selected. You're going to select your megaphone and center it. And do the same thing with the bottom one and center it. There you go. Now we'll select both of these and turn them green. Okay, T for text. Now type your text. F1. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Under your menu, select text and font. Select a pretty cursive font or any font that you like. I'm using Adelia. Let's put our text in our space here. Path, object to path, and object ungroup. Now each letter is separate, and we want to resize these letters to fit in our space. I'm going to select all of these cursive letters except the S because it's a little bit longer. And I'm just going to stretch these up a little bit. And I'll stretch the S up. When you have the letters in the position you want, select them all and hit Ctrl-G to group them together. Now we can select the whole thing and Ctrl-G to group everything together, and let's change the color to green. Let's come back over to our sticker base and duplicate that one time. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I have room. And now with this one over here, let's go ahead and change that color to black. Path, linked offset, and let's just drag this up a little bit. We can change the color so we can see where our border is. So it's just going to be a little bit bigger. We'll change that back to black. F1, you can delete this image in the center. And we're going to put this one on the bottom. Get that centered and grab your megaphone and drag it onto the base. And there's your sticker. As I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give me a thumbs up.